My name is Jack Ryan, and I am from Troop 260 in Suffield, Connecticut, part of the Connecticut Rivers Council. I joined around 10 years ago, I think in 2015, in a Cub Scout pack, mainly because a bunch of my friends in kindergarten were in there, and my parents saw it as an opportunity to develop myself, and I just stuck with it. What really initially wanted to make me join was at school, a bunch of my friends who are still in Scouts today asked me if I wanted to join Cub Scouts. And it explained to me saying it was like a fun, adventurous program that's camping related. Now, I didn't really do some camping much at the time. However, hearing the words outdoors and exploring really hooked me in. So I showed up to one of the meetings and I loved it. I loved it from the start, and I continued showing up because of my friends, and we all got to work together with the meetings, got to play, do activities, and just stick with it. Honestly, I love scouting because it provides an opportunity to develop yourself. It provides you an opportunity to make mistakes, learn from them, work with other peers working on a common vision and goal of developing yourself, developing others, and becoming a better person in society. NYLT was helpful to me because after doing my participant course, that was oddly a different story in itself. But when I came on to staff, what I more realized was what really other people at different camps and opportunities function of a program. Because I come from a camp staff background and all this high adventure background. But coming into a leadership course that is scheduled, it has seminars, moral discussions, presentations, and a far more structured program than camp itself. It was really a great way to ease into a program and learn how to develop and work with other kids your age or even older. I want to say the one where I really looked back on was the 25th World Scout Jamboree in South Korea. It was a 15-day adventure in the country of South Korea, where over 45,000 scouts gathered, and basically it was like a time of fellowship. We got to explore the country, we got to meet other scouts. I still have contact with some of my friends from across the world, but really what I looked back on was like the things that we went through. Obviously we went through a tour, that's one thing, but we were evacuated early because of an oncoming typhoon.
Thousands of teenage scouts from around the world are being evacuated from a campsite in South Korea as a tropical cyclone bears down on the country.
And going through that, I think obviously there were some problems in with that. However, looking back on that, I think I'm a way different person than that. I have persevered through things. Also, I've done more than that. Even if I've sat in a U.S. military base from a world event, I have still done more. I was around 12, no, I was 11, and I went on the Allagash Wilderness Waterway in 2021. And what really made me proud was it was one of my first main trips ever in my life to where I was on my own. Other than that, I did some camping trips on my own with the troop and my patrol. However, other than that, this is my first one where I'm on my own. I'm with one other kid and the rest are older kids. And going through every single day, paddling in the rain, sitting at a campfire, cooking good food. It really taught me resilience and independence. And that's what I really think in that moment, I am proud of myself for pushing through on those 2 camping trips. Favorite scouting memory? I think it was the second day of the World Scout Jamboree. And I'm sitting there. I just did a 2-mile walk out in the sun. It was 95 degrees out. I go sit down and take a break, and the magic of Scouts happens where I found myself talking to these kids and just learning about their experiences, learning about their life, their culture. And I've really just immersed myself in a different world in scouting that I wouldn't be doing if I was sitting at home or doing a sport. If I was sitting at school learning something. No, I was sitting there with people from all across the world, just chilling, hanging out. We got to do all these program activities. We got to trade. It was just an immerseful experience that I just look back on and think, this is one of the greatest opportunities I have, because you don't casually just talk to someone from across the world like that, like it's nothing. You don't go up to someone randomly in the street and have a conversation with them. Scouts gives you an opportunity to where you can just go up to people and learn. You get to be self-reliant. And that's what I love, and that's why I think that's my favorite scouting memory. I think one of my favorite trips, based on learning about being independent about yourself and learning about self-resilience and learning in different settings, is a couple months ago last year, I was looking at an opportunity to go to sea base. And what happened was I was researching a bunch of cool treks, and I found an opportunity from this troop out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and they had a crew going out to go tall ship sailing for the week. And they needed a couple people to fill in some spots. So I contacted them. Had a discussion, and we set up an agreement. So in August of 2024, I flew down alone from Bradley International Airport down to Miami on my own, and met up with these kids. I've never met them before, but a whole new group of people. I was coming in blind, got in a car with them, and made it to the boat. And I think what was really great was just having nobody else that you know, and you're just put into that setting. It was just a different experience. I thrive off of being social with people. So I would be sitting there and I could be talking with these kids about school, life. Meanwhile, I am snorkeling in coral reefs. I am exploring the city of Key West. I made lifelong memories with these kids. And another one that I think is also top tier is I had the opportunity to go to the National Order of the Arrow Conference in 2024 in Boulder, Colorado. And it was a group around 30 of us from Shawnee Lodge. We flew over, and it was just like a big conference of 6,000 scouts from all over the country. We had trainings about how to develop yourselves, how to plan outings, how to design things, different career fields. They also had high adventure opportunities. They had whitewater rafting. They had boulder hiking out in the Rocky Mountains. Another great one was just learning about leadership, because the meaning of leadership in scouting is often always like defined differently than in real life. In real life, leadership can be like, oh, you are leading this group. You have to figure that out. With Scouting America, leadership has a whole different meaning. It means, how are you going to serve yourself? How are you going to serve others? How are you going to do your duty to God and my country? It's a whole different, and you get to learn the meaning of that in all of these scouting trips. Another great one was, funny story was, again, I found myself sitting in this college room dining hall, and I was sitting alone at this table, and around 2 minutes later, I was sitting with 3 other kids from all different states. And I hung out with those kids all week. It was a very magical moment, just being with scouts and learning and mentoring each other through a leadership process or a program that is truly catered to you yourself. So obviously, in my future plans, I am working on my Eagle project, so I am going to stick around with the troop until I age out, and then I'm most likely going to either stay in there either as an assistant scoutmaster while I'm still in town for a little bit. I'm planning to go off to college and go off my own experience, but I'm also planning to stick to my venture crew. I currently serve as the president for my venture crew, and I'm planning to stick in there for a while until I probably age out, work with them. But then after that, later in the future, I want to mentor other people, not just in scouting, but in real life. So using scouting as a tool to help other people, yes, I would plan to stick around and join another troop wherever I live and help them out. It taught me to be resilient. It really taught me to be independent and resilient. When I came into scouting, I was more rather dependent than independent. Like I was not in a sense of learning, leadership. Another thing was I really got into scouting right after COVID hit. Crossed over into Scouts BSA in February 1st of 2020. And basically after that, scouting shut down for around a month and a half. So getting into it, I was a completely different person. And every single camping trip, every single meeting, I would come back with life lessons learned, adventures, advice. Being mentored over the years has really shaped me into a resilient, independent, and mentoring person. Because now I'm mentoring other youth at scout camp and with the OA. It's basically granted people who are looking for becoming strong, independent leaders to become strong, independent leaders and help other people become strong and independent leaders. It's like a never ending cycle. They turn leaders into leaders, and those leaders turn other people into leaders. It's great. And I think that that's evidently happened to me. I want to continue that with other people in my troop. Anyone. Literally anyone. So, literally anyone, everyone's welcome here at Scouting America. It's just, if you were going to join Scouting today, I would say you would have one thing in mind. Keep an open mind. Because obviously, we're a place to grow. Obviously, some people come in with different prior knowledge to camping or leadership and self-resilience. However, we're here to help you. And I think keeping an open mind and open to flowing to change would really help you to stick with the scouting program.